everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and welcome to day 22 of the Revive and Renew for 2022 Yoga and Meditation Challenge. So today I have for you a yoga sequence that has been specifically created for posture. So many of us suffer from poor posture. It's a result of genetics and just how we're born. It's also a result of our lifestyle, and it can be a result of what we're doing day to day through our work and other repetitive activities. So we're going to work on really opening up the chest, we're going to work on some shoulder mobility, and we're going to work on some spinal flexibility as well. We're going to tie in some strength building poses too. So with that said, I also want to touch on the energetic side of working on our posture. So our posture can often be a result of how we're feeling inside. So if we're not feeling very confident about ourselves, we can maybe sort of become a little bit hunched over, a little bit caved in. We're trying not to draw any attention to ourselves. So with this flow, I'd really like us to think about opening up and also stepping into our most confident and brightest self while we go through it. So let's not continue chatting, we're going to get straight into it. So we're going to start today in reverse Shavasana. So come to lie on your belly and then stack the palms and just let the forehead drop down onto your hands. If this feels really uncomfortable for your back here to be a little bit bent like this, then you can take your arms down by your side and just take one side of your head to the mat and see how this feels. If it's still really uncomfortable to be here, maybe take a towel or a blanket and place it under the pelvis, under the hips, to see if that offers any relief. Just take this time here to get present on your mat. Starting to arrive here physically and mentally. Start to deepen the breath into your belly. Observing the rise and fall of your body as you breathe deeply into your belly. Start to let go of anything that been carrying physically, mentally. Give yourself full permission to be fully present for the remainder of our session together. Taking another few deep breaths here. Well done. And then from here, let's slide our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to press our way back into child's pose. So send the sitting bones back to the heels. And just walk the hands out towards the top of the mat. So starting to breathe into the area between the shoulder blades. Breathing into the sides of the body. Well done, just finding that extra bit of space. And on your next inhale, we're going to go through a little child's pose Cobra flow. So as you inhale, coming up onto the knees, and then hug the elbows in, lower your chest and chin to the mat. As you inhale, scoop through, roll the shoulders back and squeeze the elbows. No, squeeze the ribs with your elbows, gaze to the mat, just a baby cobra. Exhale, lift up your chest, send your sitting bones back, child's pose. Inhale, calming up. Exhale, hug the elbows in, drop the chest and chin. Inhale, scoop through, shoulders roll back, squeeze elbow to ribs. Exhale, drop the chest, tuck the toes, find your way back to child's pose. Well done. Inhale, coming back through. Hug the elbows in, draw the belly button to the spine, lower. Inhale, scoop through, shoulders back, maybe lifting a tiny bit higher in your Cobra this time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, send the sitting bones back. Child's pose. Last one. Inhale, calming up. Exhale, hug the elbows in, lower chest and chin. Inhale, scoop through. Now we're going to stay here, spider the fingers to the outside edges of the mat. So elbows in line with shoulders and wrists under elbows. Inhale, lift up the chest, any amount. Exhale, lower. So using a bit of core strength here to help you, but really we want to switch on the muscles running down our spine here. Exhaling to come down. Inhaling, lift up the chest. See if you can draw the shoulders back from the ears. Exhale down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, coming down. One more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Lovely. Okay, pick up your hands and then clasp your hands behind your lower back. As you inhale, you're going to extend the hands away from your lower back and lift up your chest any amount. Breathing into the front of the shoulders, the front of the chest. As you exhale, drop the chest, release the stretch from the arms. We're going to do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift the chest, extend the arms any amount. Exhale, lower, 1 more. Inhale up, push the hands away. Exhale, lower, well done. Okay, from here, we're going to move into our broken wing pose. So this pose has lots of names. This is the one I know it as. So let's start with the left arm for me so that I can show you exactly what I'm doing. So I'm extending my left hand off the mat, parallel to the short edge. Now, if this feels too intense for you, as we move through this pose, walk your hand down towards your left hip or your right hip, whichever side you're starting on. So you can choose the depth of the stretch. It is quite a tight one, quite a stiff one for the shoulders, so be super careful here. And then start to roll your body onto the left side. So there's a couple of ways that we can modify this. You can bend the knees and then set your right knee in front of your left knee. Maybe dropping your head down to the floor now. If this is not intense enough for you, drop your your left foot or your right foot. Depends which side you're on. So if you have the left arm extended like me, drop the right foot behind you. If you are with the right arm extended, drop the left foot behind you. Again, if this is too much, drop the knee. There's no need for this to be really, really intense. We just want to start to invite those shoulders to open, promote some flexibility and mobility here. When you're ready then, let's roll back onto our front body and switch sides. So I'm moving on to the right side now. And just beware that both sides might feel very different, so just honour that difference and modify where needed. Rolling onto that side, whichever one you're on now. Option to bend the knees and walk the leg that's on top, you can walk the knee forward. Well done. If this is not intense enough for you and you need more, drop that foot behind you, whichever knee is on top, drop the foot behind. And just breathe into that shoulder, breathe into the space. Well done. And as you exhale, gently rolling yourself back onto your belly, taking our time here. And then as you inhale, we're going to make our way up to downward facing dog. So lift the chest, send the sitting bones back, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Let's bend the knees. So I know that most of us maybe unconsciously want to get these legs really straight, but for the purpose of this class, please bend the knees, and we're going to focus entirely on the alignment of our spine. Focusing on that lovely length from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So starting to press the belly towards the thighs a little bit. Gaze to toes or knees. Imagine someone pulling your tailbone up towards the ceiling, keeping those hips up nice and high. Well done. And then from here, Let's start to walk to the top of the mat. So just taking some small steps here. Bend the knees when needed. And once you arrive at the top, feet hip width distance, exhale, fold forward. Breathing into the back body once again. Let the upper body hang really heavy here. Shoulders relaxed. Neck and head are relaxed. As you inhale, start to gently, slowly unroll the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up. So arms, shoulders, neck and head are the last to arrive at the top. Well done. And once you arrive here, roll the shoulders back a few times. Perfect. Okay, from here, let's bring the big toes together. Setting up in your mountain pose. So start to activate the quads, activate the glutes, tuck the tailbone under. So again, promoting this lovely length in the spine. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale the arms up. So modified sun salutation here. Exhale, clasp the hands behind your lower back and inhale, open up the chest again. Push those hands away any amount. As you exhale, fold forward from the hips, bend the knees as needed and extend the arms any amount overhead. Breathe into your chest. And exhale. Well done. Release your hands, drop them to the mat. And inhale, lift up halfway. Find that length in the spine again. So hands on shins, roll the shoulders back, draw the chest through. Exhale, fold forward, plant the palms. From here, pick up the left foot and step it back. Drop the knee. Inhale, the arms rise up, gaze to thumbs. And we're just inviting the hips to start to wake up. So a lot of posture, or poor posture rather, can happen as a result of areas of the body that are tight. So if we've got tight hips, tight glutes and tight hamstrings, it all can have an effect on our spinal health and the health of our back. So let's just start to work on these areas. As you exhale, drop your hands to the inside of your right foot and walk your right foot to the long edge of the mat, finding your lizard lunge here. From here, we're going to pick up the back knee and then just gently pulse forwards and backwards. So rolling off of the back foot, rolling over the ball of the left foot here. And just starting to offer an awakening for the hips. So you might feel this on both sides, maybe more so the left side. Just knowing that your body is so unique, and where I feel these poses could be completely different to where you feel the poses. So just open yourself up to those possibilities. Perfect. Then when you're ready, drop that knee. And then your option here is to open up the right hip, peel the sole of the right foot off the mat, roll the right shoulder back and take a twist here, looking up towards the ceiling. If this is not for you today, just stay in a neutral lizard lunge, keeping the chest forward and the spine long, chest open even. Exhale, come back, perfect. Drop your right hand to the mat, tuck the back toes under and step your way back to downward facing dog. So hopefully you're feeling just a little bit warmer now, and I invite you to walk out the heels if that feels good. So we start to invite a little bit of an opening for the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Your legs do not have to be straight so long as you can feel that stretch. Prioritizing the lovely length in your spine. Well done. And then from here, we're going to ripple forward into plank. Pick up this left leg, draw the knee to the elbow even, and step the left foot up to the outside of the left hand. We're finding that lizard lunge again. So let's start to gently pulse in, rocking forwards and backwards here, using the back toes, and just allowing your hips to start to benefit from these lovely juicy stretches. Well done, just a couple more. Trying to stay with your breath as much as you can here, so it's really easy easy to just switch off the breath and hold it, but really try to keep it moving nice and steady as much as you can. And then drop the back knee. Option to stay here and just let the pelvis sink a little bit deeper towards the mat as you draw the chest forward. Or you can take your left hand onto your left thigh, peel the sole of the foot off the mat, roll the left shoulder back and take a little twist, looking up towards the ceiling. Well done. As you exhale, place that left foot back on the mat, drop the left hand, tuck the back toes, lift the right knee, step back to downward dog. Well done. So take another 5 deep breaths here. Really focusing on that length in your spine. Take any movement that feels good for you. So maybe it's nice to rock the hips from side to side. Maybe you like to continue walking out the heels, finding that space for the back of the legs. Well done. And then when you're ready, exhale and drop your knees to the mat. Well done. And then we're going to move into our cow face pose with eagle arms. So there will be a couple of variations here. Come onto the sit bones, swing the legs out towards the top of the mat, and then cross your right leg over your left leg. So maybe you're going to stay here in this half cow face pose variation, just with the one leg crossed, bringing that right heel in towards the left hip. Or maybe you want to bend the left knee as well. So what I will say is just check that your sitting bones are grounded down. If one is peeling off the mat, it might be a sign that you need to take the half variation on this occasion. So just giving your hips a moment to settle, maybe pressing your hands into your heels, enjoying the stretch wherever you find it today. Maybe it's around the hips, maybe it's around the IT bands, outer thighs. Maybe you feel it in the glutes. Well done. And then from here, next step, eagle arms. So you can use a strap to help bridge any gap between the hands in this next step, or you might use a tea towel. Either way, absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong place for us to be. So extend the right arm up, bend the elbow, walk that right fingertips towards your shoulder blades, and then wrap this left arm behind your back and see if you can walk the fingertips towards each other. Again, they do not have to make contact. If you've got a strap or a tea towel, use that with your right hand, and then offer something for your left hand to hold on to. Make this pose accessible for yourself. Breathing deeply here. Breathing into that left shoulder, not overdoing it, just inviting in an opening. You're welcome to close down the eyes and see how that feels. Well done. Now gently release the hands and just slowly take them back to neutral. From here, you can stay as you are and just continue to enjoy the stretch around the hips and maybe the glutes. Or you're welcome to take a forward fold here, so hinging forward from the hips, and then just place the palms down to the mat in front of you. Keep your chest nice and open. So what I want for you is that length from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And with every exhale, maybe you find that you can walk the hands a little bit further forward. Just finding that extra stretch. So we're finding a stretch for the muscles in our back, maybe a stretch for the right glute as well. This can be a lovely pose to work out any tension in the glutes. I, for one, get really tight glutes. But I know exactly why that happened. It was definitely a result of me over-conditioning them. So I just absolutely love to melt into these really deep hip openers that also target the glutes. Well done. Now when you're ready, walk those hands back up, gently lifting up the chest. So So we're going to use our hands to help us come out of this pose, regardless of what variation you ended up taking. So use your hands to help peel the right leg off the left leg. And then let's go in for the other side. So crossing the left leg over the right leg, drawing that left heel in towards the right hip. Stay here if this is enough for you today, or you're welcome to bend the left knee as well. So once again, walk your heels in towards your hips. Have a look to see if the heels are in line with each other. Both sitting bones grounded down, and maybe press into the heels for a moment. Allow those hips to settle in. And just observing if one side feels particularly different to the other side. So often or not, we've got one side that is maybe a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit weaker, but just embrace these differences. Okay, from here, going in for our eagle arms now, and again, bring in the strap if needed, or a tea towel if needed. So bring the left arm up, bend the elbow, reach for the shoulder blades. Maybe with your strap, you're going to reach around with the right hand, grab the strap or a tea towel, or maybe just walk the hands towards each other. They may make contact, they may not make contact. There's no right or wrong place for you to be. You're welcome to close down the eyes, breathing in to this right side of the shoulder, just being so careful here. Well done. Gently release. And then again, option to take a forward fold here. If this isn't for you, just stay as you are and close down the eyes, maybe press the heels back into the mat. Or else you're going to fold forward with a flat back, chest forward, and walk the hands towards the top of the mat. So again, just noticing where you feel this. Does it feel different from the last side? With every exhale, maybe you find that you can inch those fingers a little bit closer to the short edge of the mat. Breathe deeply into the back body here. Send your breath to those tighter and more tense areas, directing the exhale towards them, just letting everything go. And as you inhale, let's gently and slowly walk the hands back up towards your feet and roll the spine. Perfect. So again, let's use our hands to help uncross the legs. They will feel a little bit stiff. And then walk your feet just beyond hip width distance. Place the hands behind your hips. Let's take a little windshield wiper here. Just offering an alternate rotation for the hips, which can feel really nice after some of these deep hip openers. Perfect. So from here, let's come to lie on our back, and we're going to go in for our bridge pose. So also a cause of any back pain or poor posture can be as a result of our glutes not being very active. So when the glute muscles are not active, we rely a lot on the hamstrings and on the lower back. So it's just putting a lot of undue stress on our lower back. So let's go into our bridge pose. So pressing all the toes into the mat, really grounding into the mat with both feet, walking the heels up towards the glutes. And then as you inhale, tuck the shoulders back and lift the pelvis, trying to keep the thighs in a straight line with each other. An option to clasp the hands underneath on the mat as you roll the shoulders under. Exhale and roll the spine carefully back down to the mat. We're going to do two like this. So you don't have to have the hands clasped, you can have hands by your side. Inhale, pelvis lifts. Switch on the back body, glutes are active, hamstrings active, back muscles active. And exhale, release. One more like that. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to release. Well done. And from here, release the hands, hug the knees into the chest, and take any movement that you feel your lower back needs here. So it might feel nice to rock from side to side. Maybe draw circles with the knees. From here, bring your arms out into a T shape and let the knees roll over to the right side. Now shuffle around here as you need to. You might want to walk your hips into the middle of the mat a little bit. Option to take the gaze over to the left fingertips. And just let your spine relax. Let your body relax. Just enjoying this spinal twist. Lovely way to reset the spine. As you inhale, let's lift the knees back up. Slide the hips back into the middle if they're not already there. Hug the knees back into the chest. Exhale, drop the knees to the left side. And again, shuffling around here, maybe walking the hips in towards the middle of the mat. Option to take gaze over towards the right fingertips. Taking 2 or 3 nice deep breaths here. Well done. And as you inhale, starting to gently come up and out of the twist, bring the knees up, slide the hips into center, hug the knees into the chest. And then let's take a brief Shavasana just to let everything sink in from today. So walk your heels to the outer corners of the mat, roll the shoulders back, palms can face up or down. Gentle tuck of the chin to the chest. And just let everything start to sink in here. Just noticing how the poses have landed in the body today. How have the poses landed emotionally today? Well done. When you're ready, let's start to bring a little bit of movement back into the fingers and toes. Start to hug the knees into the chest. And gently roll onto one side. Let's start to make our way back into any comfortable seated position. If you can, keep your eyes closed as you arrive here. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's close this practice with one full breath together. As you inhale, sweep the arms back and reach up high overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Gently bow the chin to the chest. Let's take a moment here to find gratitude. Find gratitude to yourself for taking this time to come onto your mat today. Find gratitude for taking the time to nourish your mind and your body, for taking the time for your self-care today. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for this yoga sequence for posture improvement. I hope it helped. I'd love to know how you found it. Please drop a comment under the video, and if you like this video and you want to see more like this, please do hit the subscribe button. I would be so grateful, and hit the bell for video alerts. I hope to see you back again soon. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see next in terms of yoga classes or meditation videos, please let me know and I'd be happy to put something together. Thanks for joining. Speak to you soon.